Hey guys, Everett Animation here with another video. Today I'm doing Season 3, Episode 3, Feud, and Adventures in Cat Sitting. I know I said I'd promised this yesterday, but due to copyright things, it just doesn't work out, and because I said in another tweet, I found a way to put the clips in, even if they're glitchy, I still found a way to put clips in, but it is kind of, I got my cat here, so if you hear any sounds, I tried to keep him out of the room, but, cats, if you have one, they are relentless, so you might hear him. Hopefully he'll stay around for Adventures in Cat Sitting. Anyway, for this, I found a way to put the clips in, but I got copyrighted for this most recent video, and it was 10:30, so it's I'm just gonna go to bed and do it tomorrow. And I guess that's all. Let's get to it. My cat left me, but no matter, I have my Domino 2 plush here, which is close enough. And this is not a sponsor. If you've seen any of my other videos, I don't do sponsors, and I probably couldn't get one if I tried, but I'm still going to say it. But you should definitely visit themysteryshack.com to get, any cartoon merchandise that you want. I spend all my birthday Christmas money there. I got a bunch of stuff from there, and they got amazing stuff. Anyway, let's get into the real video, episode 1, part 1, Feud. It starts with the planters, including Polly and Hot Pot, being very nice and being very guest-like, but Sprig coming in like it's his own house, licking the pan and, kind of doing stuff that you do in your own home instead of being like a guest in the house, like when you're at your friend's house. Anyway, after a talk with Anne and the rest of his family, Sprig realizes that he's not yet really part of the family. Just because Anne is a planter doesn't mean he's automatically a boonchoy, and so he decides that he wants to become part of the family. So he thinks that a way to help would be going to Anne's restaurant and, trying to help out as much as he can. So Sprig goes to the restaurant, but Anne's mom decides, that Sprig cannot help. Anyway, after that, their most frequent customer, who's kind of like Seuss, he even has a Romance Academy shirt, which is the game, or at least I think it's the game that Seuss played, and he's kind of like Seuss in a way that he's not very smart, but he's good intentions, and so he has a food truck, and he sells Thai food, but Anne's mom won't give him the recipes, and so, he keeps asking all the time, and he's kind of luring customers away, but he doesn't mean to do that because he's trying to, help out the business, but just like, I said Seuss and a lot of other characters throughout cartoon shows that we've seen, kind of trying to help, but in a way that they aren't actually, kind of like, in a way, Doofenshmirtz Mouthworks Law, but Doofenshmirtz is actually pretty smart. But he's also kind of like Seuss. And so Sprig decides that he wants to help out by, kind of sabotaging the food truck. So Sprig decides that he's going to go to the Thai food truck and order something that he already has there and eat it and then open his shirt and say, "I've turned pink." But just like cartoons work, for some reason the people there are like, "I want to turn pink." And it's concerning. It really is. But so after Sprig keeps trying to say the food truck's bad and sabotage it, Anne's mom and her drag Sprig back in. Anyway, so after a little bit of time passed by, Sprig has one less plan to get rid of Ned, the frequent customer who owns the food truck, and he says he writes a note from Anne's mom saying that she's gonna give him the recipes. So he gets out of the car, and Sprig jumps in to get rid of it, but Anne jumps in and stops them, and then they accidentally start moving the car, and the car starts moving. Okay, and so they drive through a pretty reckless situation and break a TV, although it's those two apartment people's fault. Who moves a TV like that? And who borrows a TV? Why don't you just go to his house and watch it? But whatever. And so they finally stop. So after the car stops, a little bit of, Sprig apologizing happens, and, Ned starts realizing, he starts crying and says, I'm sorry for trying to take your culture, but then, turns out Anne's mom's like, okay, so I'm not going to give you my recipes, but you can do deliveries for me. And he just takes that. He doesn't care about, his broken car, although his car's brakes were already broken, so, but and also kind of doing deliveries is a demotion, but, he'll take what he can get, so, and after that, Sprig gets in trouble because, he starts getting happy after he gets in trouble by the mom saying, he's technically part of the family now that he's getting in trouble. So, he'll just start being happy about getting in trouble now. So maybe he won't get in trouble anymore. So next we do Adventures in Cat Sitting, which is just kind of, little thing off of Adventures in Babysitting, which you might know the most recent one with the girl from Descendants, but there's also one before that. And we finally get to see a little bit more about Domino. So cute. And I got my Domino 2 here because we don't really have a Domino 1 plush out. But yeah, let's start with the episode, I guess. It starts out with Hop Pop, relaxing and then, saying like, enjoy it while it lasts because after 3 days the guest becomes, unwanted. And then he gets told that they've been there for a week, and kind of like the last episode, he realizes, a planter realizes that they need to help out to make sure they're not unwanted guests. So after telling his story about his relative, who, by being relative, he wasn't actually a relative, who was a guest for way too long, and they just hated him, he ends up finding his chance, Hop Up does, to help out the Moonshoys. Anne needs to go to the dentist, which is very true. After being gone for so long, you definitely should go see the dentist. And actually, it had been like 5 months, right? So, and I have a dentist appointment like every 6 months, so maybe not too bad, but still, went to go see the dentist, and obviously the father had to go to the work. So, Hop Hop uses that as his chance to say, I'll take Domino to the vet. So after after struggling to get Domino into the cage, and I normally would just use a bigger kennel anyway, and a bus ride without even paying, Suspicion Island 2 trailer ad thing. We didn't actually get to see an ad, but there was a poster, Donut Dunkins, and a long walk and seeing a heron and being scared, but then realizing, it was smaller than them, and they finally made it to the vet, and they saw a frog in there and a snake and all of that, and they finally make it in though, and Domino gets his checkup, he's all good, and they leave. So after the vet and a lot of questions about frogs that he couldn't answer, Domino escapes from the kennel somehow, and so, they have to find a way to get him back. After walking for a bit and, not finding him, Sprague decides to call Mr. Boonchoy because Mr. Boonchoy gave him a phone, and Hop Hop tries to stop him because just like in a lot of other cartoons, they make decisions that probably aren't the smartest because they want to show that they're either responsible or you don't have to depend on them. And Hop Hop wanted to show that he didn't need help, so he could contribute to the house and help. But Sprague does end up calling, and Mr. Boonchoy says that he would be at the nearest shawarma restaurant. They go to the nearest one, and Sprague releases his frog, and they hatch a plan to get Domino out of the store. So the shawarma restaurant has Domino. He chose to be there, but they want to keep him because he's giving publicity, and people really are enjoying him being there and buying more stuff there. So apparently Hop Hop has a good smoke alarm voice, and he makes a smoke alarm with his mouth, and everyone leaves the store, and Polly fakes being a yarn ball and traps Domino back in his kennel, and just in the nick of time, Mr. Boonchoy shows up and picks them up, and they leave. After that, Hop Pop feels as though he's failed the Boon Choys, and he says he's sorry, but then Mr. Boon Choi says that Hop Pop doesn't owe him anything. He kept Anne for like 5 months, so Hop Pop will never have to pay Mr. Boon Choi back, and he can stay with the Boon Choys forever, and that Hop Pop doesn't owe him anything. After that, they go home, and Anne shows up, and she's a little like weird after, sometimes when you go to the dentist and you have to have certain stuff done, you get drugged, and, she's just acting a little weird. So the Boon Choys, the parents, run off and, leave Anne to the planters, and she just kind of touches everything and all that. And, Domino goes back to his regular antics with knocking everything down and not getting in trouble. Anyway, that was the end of both of those episodes. I hope you enjoyed them. I know me and Domino too did. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.